we are talking about the modern form based theory, right? So first of them is product life cycle theory. So product life cycle theory, firstly you need to know who gave this theory, right? So you need to know who gave this theory. It was given by Raymond Vernon in 1966. He developed the product life cycle theory, which was the first dynamic theory to account for changes in the pattern of trades over time, right? So basically, you need to know product life cycle theory, and it is somewhat related to product life cycle theory. You have read in your economics and microeconomics. Basically, it is quite similar to that, but there are other factors because it is an international theory. You need to know. Okay, these are few other variables as well. So, firstly, do remember this. It was given by Raymond Vernon in 1966. Developed the product life cycle theory. He divided the world into three categories, that is lead innovation nation, which according to him was USA. Basically they lead with something, they create something new. And other developed nation, Great Britain, Germany, Japan, France, etc. And then the developing nations, right? First being produced at US, demand based on non-fact price factors like branding, taste, preference, seasonal consideration, etc. So firstly, if a new product is being invented, produced, and it's a new innovation, right? So the demand will be based on non-pricing factors because it has come new. Let's say the computer when they hit the market, it was new. So you cannot differentiate based on the pricing, right? You can differentiate on the basis of branding. What are the uses? We are talking about the example of computer, right? So branding, what are the usage and consideration. So in other products, it could be branding, trade, taste and preference, seasonal consideration, etc. Then export to other developed nation. Then production facilities switch to other developed nation consequently reduces exports from US because earlier in the first stage US introduced this product, no one knew, no one has created the product till now. They are exporting to other developed nations, only they can afford it because it is quite expensive. As markets become mature in advanced country, low cost locations, products become standardized and price become competitive weapon. Now other developed nations also started producing it. So that will reduce the export of US. Moreover, it has been starting to produce in low cost location. Products become standardized and price become competitive weapon. Earlier, price was not a competitive weapon. Price was not a factor even, right? But now it is because there are many players involved and they all are producing the computers, right? Then production switched to locations of lower cost of labor, in this example, Italy and Spain, which export to US now. Developing country produces and export to US. So basically, the cycle goes like this. Initially, let me talk with an example. Initially, let's say US has produced a good and they are exporting it to other developed nations. So now it has been growing, growing, growing. But in this stage, the multiple countries in the maturity stage, multiple countries have started producing it. They are also competing for the exporting part. Earlier it was only their monopoly for the US. Now other developed nations has also started producing and competing in the field. Now what happens when maturity comes in? Many labor centric nation, many cheap countries where you can produce the good at cheaper price because the price become important. You can produce the good at those location as well. So the product has reach the maturity stage, and now in the decline stage, what will happen? US will now import the goods from, let's say, countries like Thailand, India, which are not developed nation, which are developing nations. So because it gets cheaper for them to buy from countries like Thailand and India now. Initially, they were producing the good themselves. It was very expensive. They were selling to few limited markets, only developed nations. Now, when they have been selling to the developed nations, they also started producing it. And then, when all are competing, then there are multiple countries are involved. Now, in the maturity stage, they were getting the share. They were in the growth sector, but now in the maturity stage, multiple countries are involved. Price becomes a competitive factor because You can also get the same quality of product, but you need to focus upon price. Now the decline stage comes when the developing nations started producing the goods at a very cheap cost. Right now India is producing the computers. In our example, now India is producing the computers and is exporting them to US, because US can get it at cheaper rates than what they can produce at their own nation, at their own end. So they will buy it from India. So this is how the life cycle of the international product goes in. uh, these are the four stages: introduction, growth, maturity, decline. So you should be knowing, okay, this is how the product life cycle goes on, and the main focus and the main emphasis on should be who gave this theory, which year, and what are the assumptions. Basically he assumed this is how the innovation will go on, right? So a new innovative product will come into the introduction market, and then there will be growth, then you will see maturity, and finally the decline. So this is how the products move. Now the last theory of very important and crucial theory of modern firm based theory of competitive advantage of international trade. It was given by, firstly you should be knowing, Michael Porter in 1990. Tried to explain why a nation achieves international success in a particular industry, and he identified four attributes. So these are the four attributes you should be knowing, right? Porter diamonds of competitive advantage. This is how the diamond is formed. Now, first of them is factor endowments, then firm strategy, structure and rivalry. Third is demand condition. Fourth is related and supporting industries. These are the four factors which gives you a competitive advantage. Right? This is what Porter's talked about. Michael E. Porter's in 1990 tried to explain why a nation achieves international success in a particular industry and identify four attributes that promote or impede the creation of competitive advantage. So basically, a nation can get competitive advantage if all these factors are present: factor endowment, firm strategy, structure and rivalry, demand condition, and related and supporting industry. This is the Porter's diamond of competitive advantage. You can get a question from here as well, but do remember the year and who gave this theory. This is very important for your examination. Now we get to the factors part. So first factor is factor endowment. So firstly we'll talk about factor endowment. A nation position in factors of production can lead to competitive advantage, right? So if a nation have either natural resource, climate, location, or advanced skill labor, infrastructure, technical know-how. So let me give you this with an example. Let me clear. So if we do talk about the countries in which there is rich supply of oil, right? Dubai, UAE, and all the Middle East countries. So they have a rich supply, a natural resource of petroleum, right? So they have the factor endowment. They have those factors. They have a rich supply because of their location where the country is located. So these factors can either be basic, natural resources, climate, location, or advanced. Either you have the basic advantage like natural resources, climate, or location that cannot be replicated, right? Because that is pertaining to that particular position only. Or advanced, such as skilled labor, infrastructure, technological know-how. This is the most advanced and developed countries in the world. They have this advantage, right? This is basically the factors that your country possess. If you have the climatic advantage, if you have the location advantage, then your company you can your country will have a competitive advantage, right? Then the next we'll talk about the demand condition. The nature of home demand for the industry, product, or services influence the development of capabilities. Sophisticated and demanding customers pressure firms to be competitive. So demand conditions, your customer should be educated and they must be aware. They must be aware about the happenings around the world. They will be demanding more and better products. If they are not aware, they won't be. They will be satisfied with whatever you are providing. So the nature of home demand for the industry, product, or service influence the development of capabilities. Sophistic, Sophisticated and demanding customers pressure firms to be competitive. So demand conditions plays a important role. If your domestic demand is crucial, and they play a major role by if they are sophisticated, and they know about the aware they are aware about which product they need, that will create pressure on firms to be competitive, right? Relating and supporting industry, this is also an important factor. The present supplier industry and related industries that are internationally competitive can spill over and contribute to other industries. Successful industries tend to be grouped in cluster in countries having world-class manufacturers of semiconductor for processing equipment can lead to a competitive semiconductor industry. So relating and supporting industry, if you have if you are operating in India, you have a really good supporting industry in service sector, right? We are not talking about the manufacturing as say, but we have a good support in service sector. So if you want to do something new related to the service sector, you can easily find out the supporting industries, and they can help you grow. So relating and supporting industry is very important because you cannot excel in each and everything. You need the help of others. They can carry out other functions. That is why outsourcing has become important. You can outsource your non-core functions, and that is how relating and supporting industries are very important for a nation to have a competitive advantage. You need all kind of categories of industries in your nation, so that you can grow, you can excel. Now, the last thing, the firm strategy, structure, and rivalry. The condition in the nation governing how companies are created, organized, and managed, and the nature of domestic rivalry impact firm competitiveness. So, the law is very important to know the firm competitiveness. Now, you need to know, okay, how the companies are being governed in a nation, right? If they are being given, let's say, more freedom to for operations, or they are wholly controlled by the government. So you need to know, okay, this is the firm strategy, this is the structure, and the rivalry, the nature of domestic rivalry. If there is monopoly, there is no rivalry. You need to have a good rival, only then you can be more competitive, because both will push each other to be more competitive, uh, to reach the more and more customer and satisfy their needs. So this is why the firm strategy, structure, and rivalry, all these are the four factors you need to remember that forms Porter's diamond of competitive advantage. These are four factors. You can get a question easily on this. These are the few theories which, in my mind, I think are very crucial for you to know. I have covered each and every theory in depth, and you won't be getting any more questions, right? Only from this, if you are able to cover this and if you are able to understand this, then surely you can clear the international trade theory part easily. There won't be any more questions coming out of this. All the theories, all the important and crucial theories are being covered in this video. Now, you have been waiting for this. I've been saying that please do stick till the end, and I have few surprises for you. The first one, okay. So, behold your breath. The first surprise is this one. I have given you previous year questions, and do pause the video here and note down the question, or try to solve it on your own. I have given the options as well. Everything, these are all the previous year questions, particularly for from this unit. So you should be clear if you can attempt them or not. You have till now you have watched the three videos. If you haven't, please do. There are two more videos other than this, so please do watch them and try to attempt all these questions. I have taken few questions from the past years, and that's how you should be preparing in future. It is very important to go through previous year question when you have covered a subject. When you have covered a unit, a particular unit, you should be going and revising through the previous year question. So, because I've been saying, I have a surprise for you guys, and this is the previous year question from this particular unit, and not alone, uh, not only five questions, but there are other questions as well. The, as I've been saying, pause the video right now and try to attempt them. Right, try to attempt all these questions, and you will get to know how is your preparation going, right? If you can able to solve them easily, you will get to know, okay, how is my preparation, right? So this is all, and I hope you like this video. If you do like the video, please share with your friend circle who are preparing for UGC net commerce, and uh, do leave a good word as well for TalentBlazer, and we are here trying to make your journey more interesting and fun loving, and surely we will be coming up with more sessions on other topic as well. So I hope you have attempted all the questions, and please do attempt all the questions, and uh, please connect and join me in the next video. If you do like this video, share with your friends and do leave a thumbs up, and do leave a good word, a good word about the TalentBlazer as well. So we'll see you next time in the next video.